Hello everybody, I'm Fabien and welcome back to Fab Motorbikes. This week I'd like to give you 10 tips on how to ride safer and happier in the rain. But first of all, a quick click of that like button really helps out the channel, and if you've seen quite a few of my videos now, please consider subscribing. Thank you, let's get into it. Number one is make sure you have some great wet weather gear. I always carry with me some polyurethane trousers, do me great, and really just a kind of a bog standard rain jacket. So it doesn't have to cost you all that much money, but just make sure you test them and they really are waterproof. I know Gore-Tex can be a great option, but it is very expensive. I've had it in the past and I will admit it is worth the money, but you don't have to spend the earth. Number two, make sure that you have good tyres that have a good wet weather rating. There are many tools and websites online that you can compare tyres, such as blackcircles.com, and make sure you have an idea of how good tyres will perform in the rain. And on top of that, also make sure that you have plenty of tread depth left, because it's these grooves in the tyre that will stop you from aquaplaning. They allow the water to enter through the grooves and out via the side, rather than pushing your tyre off the road. Number three is stopping distance. Although good tyres, brakes and ABS will help you a lot, they can only do so much. There's a lot less grip out there in the rain, so you need to leave plenty of distance so you can stop. And number four, leading on from stopping distance, you've got to stay smooth. In the rain, when there's far less grip, you cannot be slamming on your brakes. ABS can help, but there is still a great chance that you can slip out. And also, you've got to be smooth on the accelerator. If you're slamming it on, the chances of you spinning out that rear wheel is really high. Stay smooth. And number five, I'd recommend avoiding white road markings just like this one, and also those slick metal manhole covers. It's just not worth it. I know road markings like this, they now sometimes put like grit in the paint to give you a little bit more grip. It's just not worth it though. Avoid them at all costs. Deadly. And number six on this list is basically to try and relax. You know, there will be times where you may get a little bit of a lock up of the front wheel, or the rear wheel may spin out a little bit, but it's those times when you panic and you tense up that will send you hitting the floor. It's difficult, I know, because only experience can teach you to stay relaxed, but it's something to be mindful of. Stay relaxed. And number seven, if you see patterns of beautiful rainbows on the road, stay away from it. It's oil, it's danger. Don't go over it. It's slippery as hell. It's oil. Avoid. Number eight, and this is a few tips purely based on practicality, I would avoid putting gear on in the rain. For example, have you ever tried slipping wet hands into a glove? It's almost impossible. It kind of sticks to the inside of the glove. Another thing, have you ever tried putting a wet head into a helmet? Oh, it's horrible. Then it's wet inside and then it's sticking to the inside liner. It's really just really unpleasant and difficult thing to do. And a final one is, in the rain, try not to open your visor too much, because if you get water while you're riding on the inside of your visor and then you close it and then it's on the inside, it's a massive pain. And number nine on this list is, if you are riding down a wet road and it's drying out and you see a dry line, take that dry line. That dry line will have the most grip. Of course, really, it's within reason. If that dry line means you're going to go off the road into a bush, don't do it. But often, the center of the road, where the hot engines of the cars are, is often the first bit to dry out. So sometimes that's the safest bit to take. Do that. And finally, number 10, I would avoid riding through puddles. In my youth, I was guilty of riding through puddles deliberately because it was a lot of fun and the splashes everywhere and everything. But when you think about it, there are a number of things to look out for. First of all, most of the time puddles become quite murky and you don't really have a clue what's in there. There could be a giant pothole ready to eat your front wheel. And also, when you think logically, puddles is where all the water has collected. And often that means it's collected a lot of other things like nails and screws and bits of whatever. And in my time, that's where I have collected punctures. So that's it for this week's video. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've got a few things to add to this list, please let me know in the comments below. Please hit that thumbs up button and please subscribe if you've not done so already. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next week.